motherfucking way for B-Side 5.
B-Side 5.
Welcome to the Developmental Focus Points. I'm your host, Bo Scarbrough, and with me are my two co-hosts, Alabama legend, best returning that ever came through Alabama. CJ, you already know what it is, and one of the best quarterbacks to come through Alabama, played 1 year, hell of a player, can run the ball and also throw the ball, and he can run it, he can get the ball out in traffic and put it in between tight spaces so only the receiver can get it, and that Mr. Blake Sam himself. And we are brought to you by Oakmount Financial Partners. And what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Living the dream, Bo. How you living?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I can't complain, man.
For sure. Can't, man. Can't at all. Hey, how things going, man? I know y'all boys, we all really in season right now.
Yeah, Bo, y'all 3 days away?
Yeah, man. We are, let me look. We are, 2 days away. We only have 2 more practices left, and it'll be game time, man. 6:30, man, p.m. Central Time, man. So make sure y'all get y'all tickets at.
Hey, Bo, I'm trying to get a ticket.
.com. Yeah, man. The ticket just really like a high school game, really, man, for real.
I'm saying, I want. All right, tickets at high school game. I'm saying, I'm trying to get Bo Scarbrough VIP. How do I get Bo Scarborough's VIP pass?
Man, the same way you get into a high school game, just come to the Bo Scarbrough section.
Ooh,
what is it?
What's that wheel call on my mama? Give me
and protect the stadium.
And because my thing is, I've been a player, so I know I don't want to hassle you for no wheel call. I know you got the world coming to see you now. You got the half of the south of the state coming. So
I hope so, man. I hope so.
Ooh,
I'm gonna call.
My boy was just going through. You were just reminiscing and saying that you done took one of the season before.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, you already know. How your guys doing, man?
Man, my guy's good. We've been doing morning workouts right now. That junk, I'm glad to get back in the routine of football, man. Since I have decided to stop playing, it's just other sports, been basketball, I had to do that thing. And, I'm just happy to be back in the process and just going through the playbook, reading a lot of things, watching a lot of videos of other quarterbacks, watching a lot of Lane Kiffin videos. And just trying to put it into my offense and add it to the plays that I already have in my playbook. But the hard thing is running the right type of offense and plays that matches the skill set of my players.
There you go.
And my quarterback.
There you go. So
you've been listening. You've been listening. Damn. That's crazy.
So who called the plays? You or Christion?
No. 707. Yeah. He talking about the school he coached at, the middle school he coached.
Oh, okay.
I'm at the high school now.
You at what high school?
I'm at Mount Bethel Christian Academy. I'm the offensive coordinator.
When this happened?
2 weeks ago. No fault, man. I thought y'all boys already knew, man. Yeah, I got the offensive coordinator job, man, at the high school. I'm the quarterback and running back coach.
What's up?
Appreciate it. Yeah, I was at the middle school last year. I'm at high school this year. It's going crazy. Hey, Bo, it's up there. It's up there.
That was up, man. That was up. I like that, man. Man.
Hey, Bo. When you done and you want to go and, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Hey.
I got you.
Okay. Come teach one of my players to stick a foot in the ground and get north.
Oh, I can do that very easily, man.
Who the guest is, Bo? Who the guest?
Yeah, but I'm finna go ahead and introduce the guest, man. I'm sorry about that, man. This is my bonus pops, Mr. Bill Smith, he's a pastor, and he do service on Sunday. So I want to welcome you guys to my bonus pop, Bill Smith.
Rev Smith.
Bill Smith.
Hey there, Mr. Smith. How you doing, sir?
Right. Is that working? Can you hear me now?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
we can hear you perfect.
Okay, great,
fine
great.
now.
I've juggled between my iPhone and had to come out to the car and get my laptop, and so my apologies first and foremost for just now getting on here. I'm a stickler for time, and it certainly isn't reflected in my behavior on this call.
No, Rev, you know, in our world, it don't matter if you make the mistake, just do it full speed, and it seems like you got there very fast.
Right.
Well, man, in my world, 30 minutes don't work. So I'm gonna carry this one. But again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. But I certainly want to apologize for not being on here when Bo asked me to be on the call. I'm very thankful and appreciative. Bo, if you want to kind of tell me what you might want from me, or I can share background or whatnot, whatever it is. But I think the most important thing, when we consider, ministry, for me, it's about purpose. It's about purpose, and every athlete needs somebody in their life that doesn't have any other. This is my opinion, that doesn't have any other ulterior motive. It has to be about the player, both where they are then, and where they see their future and what kind of work they want to put in. The sky is the limit, right? So in my experience, my son played collegiate ball, and it was just unfortunate that the people that are in an athlete's life, generally you got to oftentimes question their motive, right? And so again, that's my experience. And so if that's the case, because motives can, that's your why. Why are you there? Why do you do what you do? And the person in you guys is in an athlete's life, let me say, needs to have focus. They need to have determination. Bo will tell you, I'll call Bo, and just when God puts him on my heart, not just because I'm his bonus father, but because I care about Bo, right? Even outside of the relationship he has with my daughter, I think he's a great man with a phenomenal character. He's centered, he's grounded. So there are things outside of, man, this guy might, this guy is my son-in-law, right? That's one aspect of it, or that whole piece of it. But heck, man, my motive, and I've told Bo this, I'm like, man, what y'all do is what y'all do. As far as I'm concerned, I want to sow into your life. I want to be a person in your life. I ain't got no other motive than to bless him with words that I get, words of wisdom. When things happen, as they do to any professional, things happen and it don't go your way, to be a voice to encourage, to pray on his behalf or an athlete's behalf. So, Bo, I'm gonna shut up because I don't know if I'm going a direction that you guys wanted to hear from me for, but for sure, man, if it's a spiritual person, a chaplain, I serve as the director of spirituality for a healthcare company. We own 180 buildings in 9 states, and so I'm tasked with being there for folks that have gone through trauma, that are going through crisis, that have lost a parent or a loved one, the COVID stuff that's going on. And the truth is, an athlete's life, you guys' lives are built around more than just what you do. You are more than what you do. And so many times, I think relationships can be transactional rather than with intentionality and purpose. What does that mean? When you can no longer do what you used to do, you get thrown away. And I know, I've got friends that are athletes that played on the, on the professional level, NFL, and man, great men can just be totally lost because now there's a lack of, a sense of purpose and what familiarity they have with what they do. That's not right or wrong, but I think if God blesses you with some folks that are genuine and don't It's not a performance-based relationship. It's purpose, and my hope and my offering to athletes and men and women alike is to once that season is over, it don't mean you're over, right? It doesn't mean it's a done deal. I mean, it's another season. Everything has a season. Y'all know the word says there's a time and a season for everything under the sun. So anyway, with that being said, and again, I need to follow your lead rather than run on my own chasing rabbits. But man, I am always so encouraged and so blessed to see athletes that have devoted discipline, work, energy to your craft. That's a big deal. When you look at all disciplines that exist, whatever profession people are in, there are few people. Athletes, I think, are perceived as just being gifted, and folks don't realize what it takes for you guys, or for an athlete to be continually at the top of your game, right? So I'm gonna shut up. I could run on and on. Bo, tell me which way to go, and I'll submit to what you want, and hopefully it can be an offering that has some value to somebody on the call.
Yeah, man, you really hit it on the head that, what the topic of the show is going to be about. And you covered everything that, we were going to ask. But so I want you to explain to the younger guys that's in middle school that's translating over to high school, and for the guys that's translating from high school to college, how if something happened in their life, that they wouldn't expect to happen, and for me, like when we was younger, when I was in that mid-range of school, I wasn't, thanking God enough for putting me in the position that I was in, because I would just playing because I was so good and I wanted to go to college and I wanted to go to the NFL. But some younger guys don't understand at an early age to put God first, and whatever they may be going through, or an injury, or a family problem, how they should pray and keep God first, and how much it could help them in the long run as they start to do that. I mean, I know for me and Kristen, because we kind of have the same background of where we lived at. I know we went to church, but once we got being the number one and the number two player in the state, on Sundays we train and we not really thinking about God, to be honest, and to put him first, to pray for what we want. And I just want you to explain to the young guys how important that is nowadays, that how it can help them by starting off at an early age, and what it can do for them.
Man, that's a very good question. And for me, the onus of that isn't just on the young athlete. It's on who's in that athlete's life. To me, there's a gap there, and there's a gulf between what we know to be valuable, what we know to be um, um, a spiritual compass that gives them foundation to be rooted in. The reality is, you don't have a lot of ministry or people that are in that circle, because it's all about influence. For me, the ministry that I've done for almost 40 years has been in the hood. It's been in places that are difficult, and unfortunately, you know, and I hope this doesn't sound self-serving, but with a lot of kids like that, that are in those spaces, if you're not there with an intent that ain't about what you can get out of something, you know, I've never had an issue having influence in young people's life, because I'm not just there for the thing they do. you know, they have seen me in the neighborhood. They see me coming over to their house. I know their parents. So you don't get to just show up when they get to be special and say and try to show somebody the value of Christ in their life. Christ has the same value regardless of whether you're just starting or whether you won the Super Bowl. He's the same God. He has the same value. But just like anything else, that has to be real when a young athlete is going through it, because everybody experiences situations that are bigger than them. I mean, nobody's exempt from that. Everybody gonna get a dose of I can't handle this on my own. And the reality is that the determining factor is who's around when those moments come, right? And so it's a great opportunity for ministry. I'm thankful for that you've allowed me to, you know, to join in this conversation, because if there's an opportunity to get in front of some young people, that's where the influence is. And they'll accept the influence based on who's introducing them into that space. My influence won't be because I've been pastoring 40 years. I've done a lot of real hard ministry and dealt with kids and situations and the court system and their fathers are in prison and just all of that kind of story. And it doesn't just include those guys, but my point is that introduction has to come from somebody they respect, because I'm just another brother that's talking. Like, I don't have any influence. I don't have any value, right? You get value by what you put in. And so I think from my perspective, even having snippets of that conversation with them, you know, some of them are going to be in their crisis moment, even as you guys are sharing and communicating with them how you make it and the kind of grit you have to have and the kind of character that an athlete who's going to be a leader needs to have. They're developing that when they're young. They have opportunities for that when they're young. So anyway, I hope I answered your question, but I think it's about presence. I think the significant part of that answer is if I didn't have the parents I had, if I didn't grow up around what my environment was, where people would challenge me to do things that I didn't want to do, that would talk about the importance of prayer and not just pass it on, but to pray for them. Bo, if you don't mind me being a little transparent, it includes you. You know, it's what I decided to do with Bo. I call him. I'll be at work. I'll be in another state. God will put Bo on my heart. Hey man, just thinking about you. Hang in there. Keep it going. I don't just see the production of what he does. I see a man who's, you know, doing man stuff that's got things that are going on in his life, and the Lord puts him on my heart. And I do my dead level best to be faithful with what Bo needs in his life. Not what I think he needs to be, not what I think he is, but man, if I want Bo, and I'm saying Bo because that's the relationship I'm in on this call. But man, I want the best for that man. Like, and that ain't got nothing to do with my daughter. God just has grafted him to my spirit, and I call him, I check on him, and I don't want anything. Like, you know, I don't want any tickets to the game. I don't want anything. He invites me. I have all that, but my number one purpose is I know he's lost his father. I know he's lost a lot of people in his life. And so those are voices of wisdom that have been part of his life since he was young, that are not being, I won't say not being filled, but I'll say there's a hunger there. And I've lost my father, 10 years ago, and there's still a void there. So that's a commonality about something that's special to Bo, that I feel like I have a gift and an obligation and a responsibility to be that in his life. I don't come charging in and, hey, Bo, are you praying? Are you going to church? And it's not that at all. It's a relationship. And I hoped, and I hope it is. I think it is. But at this point, he could see that in our relationship. And the other piece to that, hey, y'all, look at here. Just like on the field, it ain't just that the coach and the owners and the franchise that gets the benefit. This is a two-way street. I get blessed by Bo in the same way that I hope I'm a blessing to him. It's a mutual relationship. And for these young people that we're talking about, that too is a mutual relationship, right? It's not one way. It ain't like if you screw up, I'm done now. You had your last chance with me. No, it's a mutual relationship. It's a journey, right? Because there are so many other dynamics that are part of the time that you guys have to coach them in the discipline of being an athlete of character and an athlete that has a determination that's unbreakable, has a whole lot more to do than just the game. We're building men, right? Amen. We're building men. We're building men. So anyway, I'm gonna shut up, guys.
Oh no, I just want to ask one question. These kids not only need influence through the coaching, but I think it's also important that they are taught how to hear God in their life. How do they recognize, people say hear God. God talks in a number of ways. It's not always a voice. There are situations that he put you in. There are signs, there are some things that may grip to your heart through what people say. So I was just wondering, what would you say would help athletes hear God in their journey? Like, what are some things that would help them hear or see God move for them in their life?
I love that question. That is a great question. And I think probably how I would approach answering that would be you hear God in the same way that you listen to your coach. If you go out there and you've been trained and you've been taught on whether it's running a route or a play or what the playbook is, and you're not listening to the coach, you're not going to be in sync with the rest of the team. And matter of fact, really the coach will bring the next player up because you're not listening to him. And the thing is, to hear God, that's created through just being obedient. Not all the big stuff, not the politics. Hey, what do you need to be obedient to God? Belief 101 might be, be truthful. No matter what's going on, tell the truth. Trust God. You can see how big God is when you take risks that you don't that man are gonna cost you something. Mm-hmm. The biggest things in my life has cost me making a risk that I couldn't deliver on. And step by step, like now, man, and my faith is still challenged. I'm, like I said, there's a train coming by. Hold on. 40 years in as a pastor, the truth is,
did we lose him?
No, I think he'll come back.
Probably that train.
Yeah, that train kind of messed up the signal a little bit. We should be back now.
But yeah, man, as he was
speaking some powerful words, though.
Man.
I was stuck like that for a minute.
Yes.
That my boy got me thinking.
Nah, you should, man. You should, because
and he always, like just call me out of the blue, bro. And then when he do it, be like I be going through something at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that I ain't even told nobody. And when he hit me, he'd be like right on point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah. Then it just boom. I'm thinking different now. I'm like, I'm back where I'm supposed to be at, because the conversation be 2 minutes sometimes, bro.
Hey, you can repeat like y'all relationship for the people that didn't hear it when he was explaining it.
Yeah, man, we have a great relationship, man. It's like he said, he hit me up out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? That's my girl father, and he'll just hit me up out the blue and check on me, man. Hang in there, man. Keep grinding. things gonna, work out for you. And at the time, I be, when you be at that training point where it's starting to break your body down and you wanna, what I'm saying, go lower than what you were doing, and hear words that just boom, pick me back up. I'm on 10. You know what I'm saying? I got that extra motivation that I'm going now. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just Bill, I was just telling them how when you talk on the phone, our conversation don't even be 10, 15 minutes. It be a 2 minutes in them in 2 minutes. Like I said, to put me back up on 10. But but you can continue what you was saying with that question. I know before you got interrupted by that train. Because the guys.
Yeah, no, I think I think I probably had answered it, I hope. To your point, hey, can y'all still hear me? You're locked. My screen has locked you up. Man,
you good? We hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Yeah, but see, you bring up another point.
Please don't break up again. Well, we got a message. You got a message at the end. She said, "Boy, he hung up. I was hanging on every word."
We got extra 10 minutes to the show.
We got we can do it 10 minutes. I ain't gonna cap you down, but
hey, but look, Bo, that's what I want to say though, fool. So since I decided to stop playing, bro, I've been watching a lot of athletes documentaries.
Yeah.
So I just finished.
I got something I really want to ask you. When did you get that job? Like, go ahead. We'll chop it up.
Hey, but look though, I've been watching a lot of documentary, fool, and just because I just be very interested to see how these high-profile players handle their afterlife. So I just got done watching the Mike Tyson joint. Cause like growing up, you feel me? I knew of Mike Tyson, but like he just wasn't that type athlete that like I looked up to and I followed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I always just hear how he was on the cocaine. He had a little joint, a little rape, little case, and he had that stuff. So that kind of like had me not want to lean that way. But when I see his story, fool, I'm just like, man, I'm tripping because people don't really know the things that we go through. You feel me? Like from a child, how we act when we get in college. That part thing been a demon this whole time because it happened to us when we was a child.
Exactly.
Like so now I'm on J.R. Smith's documentary. And by how people just like trying to downplay him and speak bad about him just because the man going to an HBCU school and he on a golf team. And like people like try to like write this stuff in the media and say he this type of guy, but everybody else that really know him and the people that did get to know him would say that he's a completely different guy. And the people that are close to him made him like stay as like whole. You know what I'm saying? And like how you saying about Mr. Smith. But I see you back, Mr. Smith. You got the floor.
Man, gosh, this is one of those things that in one aspect I'm used to it. And it's just about, when you're sowing seed, man, the enemy gonna disrupt. That's his plan. So whether you're on the field or whatever your task is at hand, the reality is that you got to push through it. And even though I can't do anything about this, I acknowledge it, but we keep moving.
Yes,
so I'm not gonna give a whole lot of time to explanation because but it's disturbing, but you got to keep pushing. One of the things that you were, that Bo was sharing, I think where I was when I got cut off last was just that time element, that time aspect. And we got to do from a spiritual perspective, you don't have a lot of time. Like this ain't This ain't Bible study when we're engaging with guys. It's, you're there for the purpose of what you're there for. And as much as it could be infused into the mindset and the character and the overall win that God would play in an athlete's life, is the opportunity we have, right? So that's how I look at it. And again, hey, don't think that you can speak into somebody's life if you don't have influence. I don't care what your name is. The streets teach you that, like that, hey, you have no influence if you haven't, sown there, if you haven't been consistent there. And I think too many times the church or ministry can be guilty of any other entity that wants to do something for ulterior motives. Bo talked about, just the word that's conveyed and shared. Again, I can't emphasize enough, the motive for me, and it isn't even because Bo Scarbrough is Bo Scarbrough. It's because he's a man like everybody else. And you see in a biblical sense, if you're talking about we're building athletes, we're building men, right? You're building men that are able to function at the highest level in what they do, whatever the discipline is, whatever the sport is. But just like Aaron in the Old Testament, Moses needed Aaron and to hold his arms up. Man, this thing get heavy. Y'all say amen. This thing can get heavy.
Amen.
People don't see what you're going through. They just see you on the field in uniform. They have no idea what's happening at home when the relationship is strained, when the money's tight. They don't see that. So what spirituality is to an athlete is somebody in the background, not trying to get the mic because, all of a sudden you're walking with somebody that's important and valuable and visible. It ain't about that at all. It's being in the background and holding a man's arm up, hands up, holding him up at any point of need. And sometimes we don't know what it is. That's the beauty of spiritual things. We don't always know why, but the word never returns void because God's got a purpose in it. And to be able to hold, these young men, these boys, their arms up as they're going through stuff. And just like y'all, us as grown men, and that's the HBCU piece. I heard you say that, but there should be at least a quality of education, of academia and athletics that know the difference between an athlete that's come up through tough times and one that's never had to ask for anything. There's a difference between the two of them, right? So anyway, again, I might be chasing a rabbit, but I think the most valuable, an incredibly valuable point, man, and whoever's on here, I can't see all who's on here, but hey, I'm praying for you right now, and I'm praying that areas are heavy for you in your life that are personal, that we're not going to even get into on this call, that you even hear on this call, the Lord, I want you to know that the Lord sees what you're going through, and we're here. We are all here on this call to help you lift your hands up.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
So there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, Blake, you got a question that you want to ask him?
No, man. I just want to hear you talk, dog. I want to hear you talk, man. You talking some powerful things.
So let's talk about. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I want to ask you this. So, as these young kids, man, they want everything fast. You know what I'm saying? They're not willing to be patient and wait for things to come and go through the storm and all that. So, I mean, let me know if this question has already been asked or if you already covered this. When these kids, they ask questions, they talk to the man upstairs and everything, and they wait for an answer. And with God, we always receive 3 answers, but we never think we're gonna hit the 3rd one, and that is wait. So what is your advice from when you just keep, as a man, when you go through your tough times, you just get aggravated and you be like, man, how many times you gonna tell me to wait instead of just giving me my answer?
Wow, man, y'all are asking some very, very good questions. I've never met a kid that that can handle weight. Right?
Almost either grown-ups either.
Man, that was gonna be my next statement. Man, that's a journey in motion today. I mean, even for me today, I had to go back and forth. Anyway, I had a task to do. I had to go to the bank 3 times, go back to the DMV. When I went to the bank the last time, guy that came in after me, and they just didn't know, got called in front of me, and he goes, "Wait a minute, that guy was here first, right?" And I'm like, "Man, I got so much going on, I didn't even realize that they called you in front of me." But know this, I literally told him this. I've learned to be patient. I've learned, and I'm better at it sometimes than not. But to your point, yeah, wait's an answer sometimes. And sometimes you can mess up, you can derail the plan because you haven't waited on God to do it for you. So all the young people or whoever it is out there, I know I've had it happen in my life when I've gotten tired of waiting and saying, God, it don't look like this is important to you or priority. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And inadvertently, it has always been that I should have waited. And I told my son this was a conversation we've had. I said, anytime you wait on God, anytime you wait on him, and it's hard to distinguish between the two, because sometimes God wants you to press in and work harder to get blessed. And sometimes it don't matter how hard you work, it just ain't time, right? So that's why, to your original question, that's why you need to be hearing from God, because there's not a one size fits all. You're going to go through seasons when you are busting your butt and giving it all you got, and it ain't going to be working, and God's doing something else. And we just got to trust. And here's the thing, we do our very best. I remember saying, God telling me this when I pastored my first church. My dad used to say to me, son, if you can live on short grass, you can live anywhere. What that meant was, he grew up farm and stuff like that, and we had horses, and sometimes the grass be short out there. Had one horse that I don't care how short the grass got, that joker always looked good. In other words, if you can make it on short grass, some of y'all out there now are perhaps on short grass. Things are hard. It's difficult. You can't see the end of it, but I guarantee you God has your good at heart.
Amen.
He has your good at heart. So, yeah, the only counsel we can give is just to keep grinding. Keep doing what you're doing. I remember the Lord told me, he said, Bill, you keep your hands empty and I'll keep them full. I understood that to mean you give it all you got every time you got to show up. Empty your hands. He's saying, I'll keep them full. That's my job.
Let me write that down.
Yeah. It's his job to provide. Right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
We appreciate you for coming on and sharing the word with us, and sharing, breaking it down for the younger guys that is watching, and also for the parents and the fans that is watching also. We have some great comments in the comments, and everybody loved the word that you were speaking on, and even Christian and CJ and Six, they love the word that you were speaking, and it's very touching, and it's very encouraging and motivational. And we thank you for taking your time out your day to come on this show and to give the words to us in the world. And I think that you touched a lot of people from what you said and how you explained it. And I never seen Blake write down anything from a guest that we had on here, so so that let me know that it was very important. But CJ, he's always a guy that take notes and stuff like that, and it was an honor to have you on our show. And I'm pretty sure that CJ, thank you, and Blake,
Appreciate you.
Yeah, hey, Mr. Bill, and
Yes,
another thing, thank you for being a getaway, man. I think that was the biggest thing of being an athlete. Whenever I had a chance to get away, if that's going to somebody's house or just hearing somebody's voice. And sometimes the football field was that for me, because that's where I felt like that was my world and I could control it. And so I know you done heard it multiple times from multiple people, but I want you to hear from me. I appreciate you being a getaway.
Man. Hey, listen, guys. You know, as I hop off, I want to say two quick things to you. One is I love you. I love you guys. A lot of times that word has been, you know, feminized and whatnot. I work in corporate America, and I have made it my task to tell people, whether they're VPs or janitors, you know, that I say I love you, and it catches folks off guard. But the fact is, you know, whether you're a warrior, a soldier, or an athlete, or again, no matter what it is you do, really what we're hungry for is that people can see us and value us, not for what we do, but for who we are. So everybody on this call that's listening right now, and perhaps you're a person that haven't heard it in ages, that somebody loves you. What I pray happens with me saying that to you, that it's not like that guy don't know who I am. You don't know. There's no way you can love me. I'll let the Holy Spirit do his work. And if you needed to hear that, I want you to know it's coming from God. Number one, it's coming from God. You wondering how to hear from God, you just heard from him. All through scripture, I see this word used from the Lord's people. I love you. When you succeed, when you win, when you lose, when you fail, I love you guys. Anything you guys need, you gentlemen need from me, I'm at your disposal. And I'd be honored to walk this journey where maybe I can provide some value to what you guys are doing, and to the young men that you are serving, and to all the families. Really, because spirituality won't just be for the kid, it's gonna bleed over into the home, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
so for all you parents that are out there, God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. Work hard. You know, protect your kids, your children, those who you're supporting here. Man, protect them, and just know, again, I love you guys. I'm done. I'm chasing a rabbit. I'm done, man.
Man, we appreciate you, man.
We appreciate you, Pops.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right,
Bye, Mr. Smith.
Bye-bye.
All right. But yeah, man. So with that being said, you know, we're gonna wind it down to the end of the show. And can you guys tell the people what you have going on and what you got coming up next? And if you don't mind starting off, I'll start with you, Blake.
Man, we got spring ball coming up, man. Mount Bethel Christian Academy in Marietta, Georgia. You dig? If you in Georgia or you in any, hold on, you know everywhere in Georgia, everywhere in Atlanta, 30 minutes. So if you from Gwinnett to the Decatur and all west side, man, come to Marietta, man. See Mount Bethel Christian Academy, man. First game is September 1st. You feel me? We at it. I'm the offensive coordinator. We live. We got off-season workouts going on. We got a workout in the morning. I better see all my players there. I'm running. I'm taking. Yeah, I'm different. I'm different. Okay. And look. When y'all coaches, I want to come see y'all in your element. And when y'all got time, man, y'all can put in y'all schedule. Come see me in my element, man.
Gotcha. What about you?
When did you start doing that, Blake? You get that? We got to talk immediately after this. Man. Hey. I mean, be quite honest with you. 7-on-7 is officially over. So I'm just training these kids and you know, coaching, just getting ready for the season in August. You know, that's it.
Good, man. It's good, man. I want to remind the people that, you know, we will be at the Paul Bryant Museum the 25th and the 26th.
Oh, we gonna be down there both days?
Well, we'll be there the 26th, but the other show will be there the 25th.
Oh, okay.
We'll be there the 26th.
What day we is though?
The 26th.
26.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, so people, make sure y'all come out. We got our first game this Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, Central.
Can we get a jersey? Like, is there a way you can buy a jersey?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have a pop-up stand outside the stadium where you can buy your Bo Scarbrough t-shirt jersey, with my logo and with my number and name on the back of it, and also my autograph already on it, so I won't even have to sign it for you. I already did that, so that make it easy for the people. But if you do want a hand-written autograph, I am very happy to do that for you. So you can also find me on Cameo for birthday videos, anniversary parties, whatever it may be, motivational speaking, whatever it is. And that's how you can find me on Instagram, Starbo, same thing on Twitter. And it was great having you guys on, man. Thank y'all for taking y'all time out y'all day to come on and share with the people. And it's really grateful for having y'all on, man. Roll Tide.
And God, bro, appreciate you.